Hey everybody, I want to read a little opinion piece in my local paper that I thought was pretty good. Um, it was sent out today, November 4th, the day after the elections, and that are, as far as I know, at 2:32 my time, still going on. People are still figuring out what's going on, which I think is probably better. Maybe everybody will, hopefully it's not like a boiling point. Hopefully it's like a cooling off point for people to realize that it'll all be okay. I know, some people, no matter what, they're going to freak. But, and again, people are people. So, here's the article. The headline is, "That's not a witch, that's your neighbor. Don't believe all the nastiness." It starts off, "I recently came across a screenshot of a social media post that told of an interesting high school classroom teaching experience. I would credit the teacher or the social media user mentioned in the post if I knew who they were, but unfortunately the screenshot is cut off at the top. Still, the message that it carries is worth sharing. From what I could gather from the post, sometime last year, the class was learning about the Salem witch trials, and the teachers told them they were going to play a game. I'm going to come around and whisper to each of you whether you're a witch or a normal person. The teacher explained, your goal is to build the largest group possible that does not have a witch in it. At the end, any group found to include a witch gets a failing grade." The students dove into each other, interrogating each other aggressively, asking questions or making judgments by a person's expression or body language. One fairly large group formed, but most of the students broke into smaller exclusive groups, turning away anyone that exhibited what they felt was a sign of guilt. "Okay," the teacher said, "you've got your groups. Time to find out which group failed the assignment. All witches, please raise your hand." No one raised a hand. The teens were confused, and he told the teacher he'd messed up the game. "Did I?" the teacher replied. "Was anyone in Salem an actual witch? Or did everyone just believe what they had been told?" I was pondering this story while driving through my neighborhood on the way to work last week before the elections. To me, this classroom exercise illustrates how easy it is to divide a community or even a nation. In the neighborhood where my family lives, it is common practice to wave at the people walking their dogs or the couples going for a morning or afternoon stroll. Drivers wave and smile. Walkers wave and smile. Bicyclists wave and smile. It makes everyone feel welcome and a part of a community that cares. But what if those people walking were wearing a hat or a t-shirt indicating their preference for the presidential race or some other political race? And what if their choice was a candidate you didn't agree with? Or what if they had a sign or a flag on their front yard promoting the candidate you didn't vote for? Does that make them unworthy of your smile or wave because of all the bad things you've heard about the candidate? Does that make them any less of a neighbor? No matter what negatives we see on the news about candidates or political parties, and no matter what nasty messages others share or purport to be true on social media, I hope we can recognize that these may not be true or as extreme as some critics want us to believe. We don't need to believe every nasty thing that's placed in our ears. We don't need to get caught up in the dark currents being created by some self-promoting wave makers and dividers. I hope we can remember there is more to life than politics. On this morning after the election day, I hope we can be reasonable and kind enough to look past differences and see the good in others around us and share a smile and a wave or a helping hand when it's needed. I hope we can remember that we are all still neighbors, not witches. So, that's the article. I thought it was really poignant, really well written. I like what it talked about, but that's me and my hippie-loving self. One of the other things that I thought was kind of funny, I am rewatching the TV series Supernatural. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may not have. And at the end of the 4th season, it actually dawned on me when they're just before they're talking about their plans. It dawned on me that a really good way to look at both political parties are the way that in Supernatural how they portray demons and angels. In the TV show, everybody thinks that, let's call them the demons. Demonize definitely Republicans. All right, we'll call the Republicans the demons. And everybody knows they're only out for themselves. They're always out for themselves. I mean, come on. Look what they do. Look how they vote. Most of the time, it's not for individual people. It's for individual corporations. And yes, that's normally how most Republicans are. Individual corporations, not people. So the Democrats, that would make them be the angels. Well, in the show, the two main characters, one of them finally realizes at the end of it that, oh, wait a minute. The angels, they're actually not out for your best interest either. They're like the Democrats. They're not out for your best interest. They're only out for their own best interest. And it's at the end of it. And I was telling my wife about that, and she laughed and chuckled, and she said, yeah, that's actually a really good observation. And I thought it was. I thought it was really funny that that in that show that's there, that there is that observation, that the Democrats definitely are like the angels. Everyone thinks, oh, they're for the people. They're for everybody. And no, they're not. They're a political party. They're looking for their own self-worth and self-interest. And they're not out for you, and they're not out for myself. They're not out for your families, for my families, for your kids. Don't have kids, but all of that. They're not in that way, any shape or form. But I'm proud of who I voted for. I didn't vote for either of the major parties, but that's myself. Yeah, I know that people have their own beliefs and opinions on that, and that's fine. But I am super stoked in my state. If anything, Prop 208 was passed, and so was 207. And as far as I'm concerned, Prop 207 is pro-veteran, and the reason I feel that way is because there are a crap ton of veterans out there that refuse to get help, but use marijuana to self-medicate. And then they can get felonies and then lose help from the VA or benefits through those felonies. So, Prop 207, pro-veteran. And Prop 208 is, well, it's taxing people that make more than $250,000 a year. Now, if you feel that you shouldn't be taxed more than anybody else, it could be because you pay too much in taxes at $250,000 a year, I'm telling you, you have a terrible tax accountant. But because most people know how to move that money around, it's a shell game when you have that much wealth. But the state decided to change it. Anyways, I just thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, that's me making my little video, using my voice, not being a mushroom. Make sure you guys aren't mushrooms. Notice the walls behind me. Looking a little sparse. It's because we're moving. And so probably, maybe the next video, or not the next video, it'll be a different background. And it's because we're moving homes. So, yay! Anyways, you guys all take care. Much love out there. Again, just relax. Take a deep breath. Do some 4-squared breathing. Not sure what that is. Look it up. Or breathe in for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Just keep doing that. Just do that before you do anything else. It'll help calm you down. Bring a little bit of rationale. Humans normally try to be rational creatures. Normally when you get us into groups of larger than 3, we become irrational. Humans definitely need to be separated from large groups. We tend not to be very intelligent when we get into large groups. If you don't think so, then look at a history book. No, we get really dumb. So anyways, again, me using my voice. Remember to use yours. Much love to everybody out there, all right? You guys, well, happy day after the election. Woohoo! Bye.